Hi, I'm Bo. Thanks for joining me. Senior arborist and garden designer for Firestone Trees and Gardens. We're a tree and landscaping consulting firm serving the South San Francisco Bay Area and up to the Mid-Peninsula. And today I wanted to give you a bit of an early spring, early April garden tour. This whole garden is going to look completely different every week until about midsummer. Spring is just the busy, raucous, beautiful blooming time for a lot of gardens, and especially mine here. And these are the stars of the show for the California cottage garden. It's the roses. And we have them planted with some beautiful native manzanita and a lot of other low water friends. So first I wanted to show you my very favorite plant and in any of my gardens. So I'm very happy that he's flowering right now. This is Rosa Roald Dahl, named after the children's book author. And it just has this beautiful, soft apricot gold color that just goes with kind of everything. And next to it here is this Rosa Coco Loco. And it just has the most unusual sort of soft romantic color to me. It starts off apricot, and then as the bloom matures, it becomes this lavender color, and in between it's tan. And tan might not sound like a very exciting flower color, but I love it when flowers change color. And I just think it has this like old Victorian feeling, like a faded photograph that's been watercolored in by an artist. This one here, I don't know the variety because it came with the landscaping when we bought the house. And it has this really hot color that's more warm and bright than my usual color palette, but it's really earned its keep in the garden. It is a workhorse. It doesn't ever ask for anything and just is so great. And then this one in front here, it's kind of drooping. I've been meaning to put it on a trellis. It's the shrub rose young Lycidas. This one and the Roald Dahl are both from David Austin, so they're English roses. So they have this kind of old world rose charm, but they tend to be repeat bloomers if you prune them. And this is the best rose for scent in my garden. It just has this old-fashioned look. And I think it does want to be a climbing rose. A lot of shrub roses will become climbers if you put them on a support. And then I just wanted to talk about some of the plants in front of the border too. This is a layered California cottage border style planting, and the roses are the back layer, and then in this middle, I call this the cushion layer, we have this beautiful sage. It's like something sunshine, I think it's called. I've described it in some of my earlier videos, but it's still going strong, and it has this really interesting butter yellow color, which I love because most sages are, purple or red. So this yellow is just this really unusual color that, again, I think goes with everything. The ruby garnets, or the garnet penstemons, are some of the most useful plants in the border. They're just starting to go, but they will bloom for most of the summer, and they're really a long blooming plant. And then in front, I love to put what I call blue jeans in the front of the garden and as underplantings, because I think that purples sort of go with everything. Perhaps it's not a true blue, few plants are, but it's kind of like when you put on your blue jeans and it goes with everything. I think that border plants look great when they're different shades of purple, and it just blends and pops beautifully with the golds. So this one is Scabiosa. It is a well-loved cottage garden plant. It does great here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I have forgotten the exact purple cultivar. It might be the butterfly blue, but the butterfly blue is a very reliable variety, as well as Florist Pink, which has such big flowers that you can cut them like the name suggests and put them in arrangements. And you can grow Scabiosa as an annual, but I like to grow it as a perennial as long as it keeps looking good and just continuing to cut it back. And as long as you deadhead it, this plant will just go and go. So that's the garden now in early April. The roses are about 6 weeks earlier than they normally have been, probably because we had a bit of a heat spell a few weeks ago that just kind of got them going. But this garden is going to look really different and come into its own in a few weeks. Thanks for joining me.